Okay. Today, let me explain the problem based on centrifugal clutch, so that you will be you will clearly understand the concept of centrifugal clutch. So this problems states like goes on like this: a centrifugal clutch transmitting 20 kilowatt at 750 rpm consists of four shoes. The clutch is to be engaged at 500 rpm. The inner radius of the drum is 165 mm. The radius of the center of gravity of the shoe is 140 mm. When the clutch is engaged, the coefficient of friction is zero point 0.3, while the permissible pressure on friction lining is zero point 0.1 Newton per mm square. So we need to calculate the mass of each shoes and the dimensions of the friction lining. So in this problem it states like P power is equal to 20 kilowatt, and 2 rpm, speed is given. One is 500 rpm, that is initial speed, and n2 final rpm, which is nothing but 750 rpm. So here I will explain why the 2 rpm is given. So here actually, as I said earlier, this centrifugal clutch requires minimum speed to engage the shoes with the inner periphery of the drum. We need minimum require. So in this problem it states like n1 is equal to 500 rpm, means that at 500 rpm this shoe gets engaged with the output shaft. So that is what it explained like this. And the final rpm is n2. So beyond this it is not required actually. So that is why we are subtracting the final centrifugal force minus initial centrifugal force. So that is the net force required to transmit the torque from inner shaft to outer shaft. So here the rd, drum radius, is given as 165 mm, and radius of the center of gravity of the shoe, as I said earlier, radius of the center of gravity of the shoe, it is given rg, is 140 mm, and rd, radius of the drum, which is given as 165 mm, and mu value friction coefficient is given as 0 0.3, and the bearing pressure, I means the pressure required to transmit the torque is P is equal to 0.1 Newton per mm square, right? And apart from that, so we need to calculate the torque mt, twisting moment, otherwise from the given power. Power is given, we know P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. So from which we can calculate the twisting moment. So mt is equal to P into 60 to be 2 pi into into final speed. So that is why the torque, the final torque at the shaft, mean mt is equal to, from this it has been calculated that 254.647 Newton meter. So in terms of Newton mm, it is 254647 Newton mm. So which is the torque on the torque exists on the output shaft at the final speed, right? And let us convert the input and output speed in terms of radians per seconds, angular velocity, otherwise. So omega 1 is equal to 2 pi n1 by 60. If you substitute the value, you will get 52.36 radians per second for initial, and the final speed is 78.54 radians per second. So omega 1 and omega 2 is calculated like this, right? uh, as we discussed, as we derived the formula for twisting moment. So what is the twisting moment formula we derive? So mt is equal to mu into m into rg into omega 2 square minus omega 1 square into rd. Mu is nothing but friction coefficient, m is nothing but mass of the individual shoes, and rg is nothing but radius of the center of gravity of the shoe, and omega 2 is the final velocity, omega 1 is initial velocity, rd is radius of the drum. If suppose there are four number of shoes, this is for one shoe, the twisting moment for one shoe. If there are four number of shoes, we need to multiply the number of shoes. Say for example, ns into mu into m into rg into omega 2 square minus omega 1 square into rd, right? So this formula we can write. So the same formula we can utilize to calculate the mass. Here mt is equal to mu friction coefficient, which is given 0.3, and m This is to be calculated. RG is given 140 mm, RD is given, it is 165 mm, N is nothing but number of shoes, this which is nothing but 4, and omega 2 final velocity we have calculated 78.54, omega 1 is equal to 52.36, which is given, right? So in order to convert this in terms of Newton per meter, so we need to multiply by MD into 1000, right? So if otherwise you can put as it is, you can take in terms of Newton per meter, you can without dividing or multiplying by 1000, we can straight away calculate the M value, right? So if you multiply MT into 1000 divided by mu into RG into RD into N into omega 2 square minus omega 1 square, so this is to uh, actually if you put the value MT in terms of Newton mm, right? Similarly you have to substitute here RG value in terms of mm, RD value in terms of mm, right? So mm will get cancelled, right? So that is why the remaining portion 1000 will be here, and so MT into 1000 divided by mu into RG into RD into N into omega 2 square minus omega square. This 1000 is meant for to substitute all the value in terms of mm. That is what we have done. So this is in terms of Newton mm we have substituted, and into 1000 divided by 0.3 into 140 mm into 165 mm, number of shoes it is 4. If you substitute the value of omega, and you will get m is equal to 2.68 kg. So what does it mean is we require minimum 2.68 kg of one shoe. So one per shoe we require 2.68 kg in order to transmit the torque. So this is what, and another one is, the second part is the dimension of the frictional materials. Dimension of the frictional materials. How to calculate the dimension of the frictional materials? We know. So it will be like this, right? So this is a circular drum actually. So the friction lining will be a segment, one part of the segment like this, right? So it will cover up to theta degree, right? So if L be the arc length, if L be the arc length and B the width of the shoe, and theta be the arc of contact at the drum, this is the arc of contact at the drum, I mean angle of contact at the drum, right? Let the theta value is equal, let us assume that theta is equal to 70 degree. So 70 degree, the arc of contact is 70 degree, then arc of length is L and width of the B is shoe. We know the pressure is given actually, so pressure is equal to how much it is, so pressure is 0.1 Newton per mm square, right? So we know net force acting on the drum is M into R into omega 2 square minus omega square, MR into omega square, nothing but, right? The previous so the net force acting on the clutch is M into RG into omega 2 square minus omega 2 square, right? So this is the net force. So this, if you substitute the net force M into RG into omega 2 square minus omega 1 square, we can equate this equal to pressure into area, right? The net force is equal to pressure into area. When the net force is equal to net force on the drum, we can calculate the dimension of the width, width of the segment, width of the friction lining, right? So pressure into length, arc length into B, length into B, this is the area. So when you multiply the pressure into area, you will get in terms of Newton, right? So you'll be converting this in terms of Newton. 0.1, so which is given. Arc length is, how to calculate the arc length? We know arc length L is equal to R into theta, RD into theta. RD is nothing but radius of the drum, which is given as 165 mm, and then theta value is 70 degree, right? Theta we have to convert it into radians. So 70 into pi by 80, it will be in terms of radians. If you multiply by RD, you will get the length of the arc length of the friction lining. So arc length of the friction lining L is equal to 200 mm we will get, right? So this net force mean mr into omega 2 square minus omega 1 square, right, must be equal to this value 0.1 into 200 into B. right? So omega 2 is known, omega 1 we know already, Rj is known, mass we have calculated, individual mass, it is how much it is, this 2.68 kg, right? So if you equate this equate this to this equation, 0.1 into 200 into b, you can calculate the width of the shoe, width of the brake lining, just nothing but which is equal to b is equal to 65 mm, right? So from this we can conclude that we need initial rise in velocity, so minimum we need 500 rpm to engage the clutch, right? So this is what the problem. I think you will clearly understand the concept of centrifugal clutch by means of this problem, right? Thank you. So next in the next class we will discuss about the brake.